Hey everybody, I thought I'd take you on another garden tour. It's been a rainy day so far today. It looks like we're going to get some thunderstorms and stuff later. So let's just take a look around and see what there is to see. This here's a Japanese maple that I got for Father's Day one year, many years ago. It has done fantastic here. It's a little close to this witch hazel. I probably need to prune off a couple branches of the witch hazel. It is a great plant to have for some winter fragrance. It flowers in the wintertime here, and it's one of those plants that the bees congregate on when it is in bloom. So it's great for them when they're waking up on a warm day in the middle of the winter so they can go have some sort of sustenance. The other day I took some large pots that we had left over. I kind of use them as dump pots for weeds and things like that. But I decided to plant this blueberry bush in it. This is one I had in a different pot before. You can see that the blueberry flowers are starting to convert over to berries. That's exciting. Hopefully we can get to them before the birds do. In the vegetable garden now, the snap peas are doing well. I need to get a little bit of a trellis up for them. They should start growing pretty good here really soon. And there's the cilantro. I think in one of the last videos I did, I mentioned that I like to let it go to bolt, which means go to seed essentially. And you see the flowers are starting to form there. Those flowers will attract lots of beneficial insects. Over here I let the mustard go to seed, or to flower, and I'm going to continue to let it go to seed so we can gather up and save some of those seeds. This is just a kind of a red mustard. Spicy. It's kind of tasty. Here's where we planted zucchini and squash, and so far we don't have any germination yet. Probably be a couple more days on that. But you can see how the grass clippings have started turning brown and are fading, so they're kind of doing exactly what they need to be doing right now for me. Serving as a mulch, keeping the weeds down, and just keeping the moisture in the bed. This is kind of my makeshift nursery area. These are some blueberry bushes that I picked up for about $2 a piece last fall. And I potted them up into little pots here to grow on and let them grow larger. I don't expect them to produce for probably another year at least. Over here, just some other plants I've all got from cuttings. Here's a hops vine. It took a little bit of sun damage when I moved it. I had it in the shade, which I probably shouldn't have had it in the shade to begin with, but it'll bounce back. Those things are pretty strong plants. And if you ever feel the texture on a hops vine, it's kind of rough, almost like a little bit of sandpaper. And that's how it grips and then climbs up poles and things like that. Yesterday, I brought this home. This is just oregano. I transplanted it from somebody's garden. And some boxwoods. I've talked about them before. This is something a little different. In December, I got the urge to plant some stuff, and so I planted some peppers. So I've got a combination of peppers. These are all ones that I saved seed from and decided I'd just throw them out into a planter, keep it indoors in the house, and see what happens. So I moved them out a couple days ago. You can see that they're already producing, so we should be able to have some peppers here fairly early. In fact, I've already eaten one jalapeno out of here, which is pretty cool, especially when it's only April and you're getting jalapenos. Now if I come over here, got some other things going on. That's Shasta viburnums, a couple more potted blueberries I picked up last year. I've got a ton of elderberry here. I need to do a video on how to propagate elderberry very soon because it is so easy to do, and a lot of people love elderberry for a lot of good reasons. And here's some forsythia in pots, and I need to transplant or move all these pots out of this bed here real soon. My potatoes got hit by the frost, but I did want to show you this. They're coming back. See that right there? I clipped them back and they're doing okay. The other potatoes have not come up at all. So I'm a little disappointed with that, but I think I know why. Because about 2 weeks after I planted them, I dug in the bed and there were termites. So I came back and I soil drenched with a neem oil, and I'm going to put some more potatoes out here and make another attempt at this. You can really do potatoes anytime during the season, probably all the way through the end of May, maybe mid-June, and still get a crop. We have a pretty good long season over here. And here are some seedlings of kale just starting to come up. Here I alternated 2 rows. I did carrots in one and kale in the next, and then repeated. So far the kale is coming up really well. I think we got some carrots coming up there too, so it's a little unclear. There you go. So now I'm in my greenhouse. Over here is where I've got some of the peppers and tomatoes. They're all looking pretty good. Whittle orange and orange bell peppers are down over there. Got some Amish paste, and these are brown jalapeno. And then over here, looks like we got, these are jalapenos from seeds I saved in 2013. And then there's some tomatoes. Those are blueberries tomatoes. I've tried them before, haven't really done much with them. When I had them, it seemed like the flesh of them was a little thick, not as enjoyable as other tomatoes, but I thought I'd give them another try this year. One thing, going back to these jalapenos that I saved, peppers and tomatoes have what you call perfect flowers. That means they can self-pollinate. They have all the parts that they need to produce the pollen and make the seeds. So you have a good chance of making the same plant again, unless it's a hybrid type of plant. Of course, a hybrid is a cross between 2 different varieties to make a new variety, and those seeds don't turn out to be true, but for dealing with heirlooms like these are, you've got a good shot at it. So I definitely encourage you to save some seed this year from what you grow and use it again next year. It's a good way to be sustainable and help reduce some of your seed expenses later on. Now back over here, we got some mini stuffing peppers and the serrano peppers. We got yellow gooseberry. I can't even see the label way over there. Excuse me as I crush through things. What do I got? I've got this backwards. Bacillo. And there's a big old wasp. Don't like that guy. So things are doing well overall. A few of these here. I just transplanted those the other day. Those are an echinacea. It was a hybrid of a regular purpurea and another one called sombrero. So I just thought I'd try that. That's actually a hybrid I tried to do. So I'm curious to see how it takes off, if those will actually turn into something neat. Looks like we'll be having some Asiatic lilies blooming. There's a lot of clusters on those. Those plants are beautiful right now. The Shasta Viburnum is pretty much going to be done blooming at this point. See all the petals on the ground, but it's going to convert over to making berries. And it's about time for me to go ahead and prune this one. Probably next week I'll give that a go. I want to cut it back into about half of its current size because it's really large right now. You're probably about 12 feet tall if I go all the way up to the top of that. Beautiful plant, but this is just too big for it right here. And if I cut it back, it'll be much more bushy and have a lot more blooms that we can enjoy. The Onondaga Viburnum is at its peak right now. I probably need this to be in a better location where it's got more sunlight, because right now it's covered up by a couple birch trees and a maple tree. But it's still doing quite well as far as the blooms go. You can see that right here. Lace cap style blooms. They have that maple leaf look, and it's got kind of a bronze reddish tint to it. So it's a really cool viburnum. Highly recommend this one for your garden if you like viburnums. It is easy to propagate. I will have a viburnum propagation video up here very soon, probably in about 2 weeks. It'll be the ideal time to start taking some cuttings of those. Excuse the weeds in this bed here. There's a few, but most of this bed is filled with a black and blue salvia. It's a salvia that spreads through runners, and it can really spread. This is a good 10-foot circle, roughly, of this type of salvia. It puts out these black stemmed flowers that have sort of a bluish purple hue to it. Hummingbirds really like it, so it's another good one to plant if you like hummingbirds around. And don't be afraid to rip it out in certain places if it gets out of control, because it really will spread. You can see that right here. And I did some weeding back over here. Let me show you this. This here is a very rough go at layering a witch hazel. So basically, I just made sure that a node was fastened to the ground with these rocks. A nice little branch over here, and it will stay on the mother plant. Here's the other end of the stem. It'll stay on that mother plant until I see some roots happening in the bottom. So I did 2 of them like that here so I could increase my odds. But what's great about that kind of a layering technique is you don't really have to worry about it succeeding or failing. You just ignore it for a while and you can come back to it, and all of a sudden you've got a plant. So it's not something you have to be actively working on. You pin it down and you just give it time. So the shade garden is really coming along. Here's the hellebores, are going to be producing some seed very soon. Heucheras have all kind of emerged. That's Pallas purple right there. Hostas are coming. These hostas are looking pretty good. They all survived the frost really well this year. Now I've got an invasive plant right there that needs to be removed. That's a bush honeysuckle. Those pop up everywhere. The birds bring the seeds over and plant them for us. Isn't that wonderful? Oak leaf hydrangea. More of the hosta bed. I really like this hosta here. It kind of stands up taller than many of the others. It's got that bluish hue. I believe this is Crossa regal. Another big leaf hosta there. So they're doing pretty well. Need to come in here and do some more weeding. Seems like you turn around and the weeds are back up again. See, the frost that we had the other day was not very kind to this little fern. It'll survive, but you can see a lot of frost damage on it. The irises have started blooming. This one is called Loop the Loop, and the first flower is done, but it's got a couple other flowers coming off of that. And then the peonies are beginning to bloom right here. They're not quite open yet, but the buds are starting to open. Here's another viburnum. This one is often called snowball viburnum. Obviously you can see why. This is Viburnum opulus, and this particular viburnum is a sterile viburnum. And it's often confused with the Shasta viburnum. I shouldn't say Shasta, it'd be the Viburnum plicatum. And with that viburnum, it can be the snowball form or it can be the lace cap style. And it gets confusing when people refer to that one as being snowball and this one also being a snowball, but they're actually different varieties. This one you can tell because it's got the maple leaf look to it. It's different from the Shasta, which has more of a ovular type of leaf. Just as a quick comparison, there's the Shasta leaf right there. I'm going to actually pull one of those off. Let me show you the difference here between the Shasta leaf. Quite different, huh? Coral red honeysuckle's looking good still attracting hummingbirds. And I love seeing it up on this crepe myrtle. Now if you grow Japanese maples, this is one that's an interesting one. This is Beni Shishihanga. It has this variegated foliage that is pink on the edges and green toward the middles. Now something that happens a lot with variegated plants is you get a reversion. And right here I'm getting a lot of that. This one's reverting. So what I need to go and do is cut back all this green that's coming out, all these leaves that are not variegated, and cut them back to where I see the variegation again, and try to keep that out. It may be a futile effort over time. This will keep on doing it. But I'd like to preserve the way this tree looks for as long as possible. It's a gorgeous tree. This spirea was original with the home and is just looking fantastic this year. Full of foliage. Reddish tinted, gold. I don't know the exact variety of it though. I'm happy to say it looks like our peaches have made it through the frost pretty well. We've got quite a few of them coming, and I'm really excited to maybe have some peaches growing this year, because there's a lot of them on here. I'm probably going to need to come in and thin these so that we can have better fruit, because a lot of them are very clustered up. You probably don't want them that close together, probably more like about 3 inches apart. But I have been doing a spray each week with neem oil to try to keep away any bugs, trying to keep it organic but still get some fruit. And that can be hard with peaches. But we look pretty good right now. This crazy vine is called cross vine, and it is all over the side yard, which is a little bit more wild. The tubular flowers are great for hummingbirds, but I do need to warn you that the plant will take over in more cultivated areas if you let it, so I don't recommend it for your garden. But if you see it out in the woods, it's a great little vine to have for those hummers. This bed over here is filled with Monarda, also known as bee balm. It's another great one for attracting pollinators, from bees to hummingbirds, all kinds of things. And you can actually use it in tea if you want to. It's an herb. So that's Monarda, and it grows through the rhizomes too, so you can feel free to pick it and pull it out if you need to, or dig up clumps and give it to friends and family. It's another great one to have, but it does spread. So you'll notice this is quite a large patch. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk around through the garden. I wish it were sunny out and we can enjoy it a little bit better, but sometimes that's what you get. Anyway, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you being here and watching this video. And if you have any questions about anything garden related, shoot them in the comments. Thanks and have a great day.